What if everything you're experiencing right now is the result of thoughts you didn't even realize you were thinking? What if the life you're living, your struggles, your wins, your patterns, isn't happening to you but through you? Not because of fate, not because of luck, but because your mind is constantly shaping your reality one belief at a time. Most people go their entire lives without ever realizing this truth. They think they're reacting to life when in fact they're creating it. Quietly, unconsciously, every thought you think, every emotion you hold, every story you tell yourself is writing your future in real time. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. That's the truth nobody tells you when they talk about the law of attraction. They tell you to think positively, to visualize success, to write affirmations, but they never talk about the identity behind it all. Because it's not your wish that shapes your world, it's your frequency. It's the emotional signal you send out into the universe every single day. That signal comes from your dominant thoughts, your deeply rooted beliefs, and the silent conversations you have with yourself when nobody's watching. You can say, "I'm abundant," all day long, but if you feel fear every time you look at your bank account, the universe hears the fear, not the words. This is the real reason so many people feel stuck. It's not that they aren't trying. It's that they're trying from the wrong place. They're asking for love while feeling unworthy of it. They're hoping for success while still identifying as someone who never gets the break. They're visualizing growth while secretly fearing change. And the universe, it's not fooled. It's not listening to your surface level thoughts. It's tuned in to your inner vibration. That's the signal that gets matched. That's what shapes your reality. Science backs this up. Your brain is not a passive observer. It's an active filter. The reticular activating system in your mind decides what information is relevant to you and blocks out everything else. When you believe you're not good enough, your brain starts looking for proof. It notices the rejections, the failures, the obstacles, not because they're the only things happening, but because they align with your belief. The opposite is also true. When you start to believe in your worth, when you expect opportunities, your brain begins to highlight those moments. You notice people who want to help, ideas that could work, signs that you're on the right path. The world hasn't changed, but you have, and that makes all the difference. You're creating your reality with your focus, with your energy, with your emotions, and the most powerful shift you can make is to become conscious of what you're feeding your mind. Stop asking, "What do I want?" and start asking, "Who am I becoming?" Because your dream life isn't out there waiting for you. It's waiting inside you, waiting for you to rise to the level of it, to think, act, and feel like the version of you who already lives that life. That version doesn't chase, that version doesn't beg, that version embodies the dream, and the dream responds. You are not stuck, you are simply repeating a frequency that no longer matches who you want to be, but the moment you become aware, the moment you decide to shift, everything starts to change, and this is the most empowering truth you will ever learn. Your past does not define you. Your current reality is not permanent. You have the power right now to redirect your life by realigning your focus, your emotions, and your energy. That is the real way to use the law of attraction, not as a fantasy, but as a force. A daily, intentional, powerful force that pulls your future into the present. And if you hold on to this truth, if you start living with this awareness, you will begin to notice something remarkable. The people you meet, the chances you get, the clarity you feel, life will begin to move differently, not because it suddenly got easier, but because you finally stopped living from your past and started creating from your potential. This is how you begin to manifest your dream life. Not someday, not after you figure everything out, but now, in this moment, with every thought, every feeling, and every step forward that says, "I am ready." You don't need to force the universe. You need to align with it. Real manifestation doesn't come from desperate energy. It comes from certainty, inner knowing that what you desire is already yours, and your only job now is to rise into alignment with it. Most people misunderstand this. They wait for evidence before they believe, but creation doesn't work like that. Belief comes first, reality follows. If you wait to feel abundant until money arrives, if you wait to feel worthy until someone loves you, if you wait to feel powerful until the world validates you, you'll be waiting forever. The signal you send before the result is what creates the result. Your emotions are the engine, your identity is the compass. That's why simply thinking positive thoughts isn't enough. You can try to repeat affirmations all day, but if they don't feel true to you, they won't shift your energy. You don't attract what you chant. You attract what you believe, and your beliefs are wired into your nervous system. They're built through repetition, emotion, and experience. That's why you must begin to condition yourself daily, not just to think differently, but to feel differently. To shift the way your body responds to your vision, because when your mind and body align with your desire, the world can't help but move to meet you. Your brain is changeable, it is not fixed. Every time you imagine your dream life vividly, every detail, every feeling, every sound, you're literally rewiring your brain. You're creating new neural pathways that make your dream more familiar, more accessible, and more believable. And when your brain starts to believe it's real, your actions begin to change. You speak with more confidence. You take more aligned risks. You stop settling. That's how reality starts to catch up, not by magic, but by alignment. And don't wait for motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. What you need is identity, a decision that says, "This is who I am now." The moment you shift from "I hope this happens" to "This is who I am becoming," the game changes. You start acting from power, not from lack. You start making decisions that reflect your future, not your past. And that's when you become magnetic, when you no longer chase but attract, when you no longer beg but receive. Because the world reflects back the energy you show up with. It always has, it always will. This isn't about faking it. It's about stepping into the truth you've been hiding from. The version of you that already exists, the one who doesn't doubt, who doesn't shrink, who doesn't play small, that version isn't out of reach. It's already inside you, buried under years of fear, rejection, and false identity. Your job isn't to become someone else. Your job is to remember who you were before the world taught you to forget your power. And every time you act in alignment with that truth, you strengthen it. Every time you silence the inner critic and take action anyway, you step deeper into the life that was meant for you. That life is not reserved for the lucky. It's not for the chosen few. It's for the ones who choose themselves. Every morning, every hour, every moment, the ones who decide that their dreams are not optional, that their vision is not a fantasy. It's a responsibility, because the dream that lives inside you was placed there for a reason. It's not just about what you get. It's about who you become, and who you become is shaped by what you do when no one's watching, how you speak to yourself, how you carry yourself, how you invest in your growth even when results haven't shown up yet. This is the process most people skip. They want results before they do the inner work. But true manifestation demands integrity. You have to live the dream before you see it. You have to walk like it's real, talk like it's yours, believe like it's done. Not once, but daily, over and over again, until the identity becomes unshakable and the world has no choice but to respond. And yes, it will test you. You will face moments of doubt, of fear, of silence when nothing seems to be moving. That's when most people quit. But that silence, it's not rejection, it's preparation. It's the universe checking to see if you're serious, if you're aligned in belief, not just in words. And when you stand firm in that energy, when your belief becomes louder than your fear, you cross a threshold. You move from waiting to receiving, from wishing to creating. So ask yourself right now with full honesty, are you living as the version of you who has already received? Or are you still acting like the person who's afraid to ask, afraid to try, afraid to believe? Because the moment you stop negotiating with your vision, the moment you commit fully, emotionally, energetically, physically, that's when everything begins to shift. The dream life is not about escape. It's about expansion, and your future is not a place you get to. It's a place you come from. Every decision you make from that energy brings it closer. Every thought you upgrade, every belief you reinforce, every fear you face, it all builds momentum. And when you finally realize that the power was never outside of you, but always within, you stop chasing and start embodying. You stop hoping and you start becoming. You are no longer here to beg for your future. You're here to claim it, to step into the energy of certainty, not because life has given you all the answers, but because you've decided to become the person who no longer needs them to move forward. That is the shift, when you stop needing proof and start becoming the proof. When you stop needing permission and start giving it to yourself. Because deep down you've always known who you are. You've just been waiting for a sign that it's finally safe to rise. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect moment, only a powerful decision. The universe doesn't delay your dreams. It mirrors your readiness. It listens.